Good morning, and first of all, thanks for everything you guys do for Washington County. I'm Pete Rettler. My real job is I'm the campus dean at Moraine Park Technical College with Pat Romsky, one of our great faculties in the audience
One of
here.
our great retirees.
Yeah. So, and I've been doing that for about 22 years. But back in 1994, actually late in '93, I was a high school and college wrestler, and I went back to UW Eau Claire for an alumni meet, and I wrestled at 126 pounds when I was in college, and I had grown to almost 200 pounds. So between me and a college teammate of mine, Phil Scherenbrock, he had also gained a bunch of weight. So we just had this New Year's resolution that on January 1st, 1994, does anybody remember what happened on January 1st, 1994? The Badgers won the Rose Bowl with Darrell Bevel, I think, was the quarterback. So as soon as they got done, you should have known that, Jerry. So as soon as that got done, I went for a run. And Phil and I both lasted a year. We had rules. All the runs had to be outside. It had to be a minimum of 1.2 miles. And back then, I'd have to drive the route with my car because you didn't have GPS watches and things like that. And we tried to average 2.5 miles a day. So Phil and I both made it a year, and I kept going. And I was going to take the streak as long as I could. And God willing, on December 31st this year, it'll be 25 years without missing a day of running. So I've got 4 kids. That my oldest one, Jack, is 23. He's a second-year law student at Marquette. My second son, Drew, is at graduate school at the University of Minnesota. My third son, Max, is at Loyola University, and my daughter, Maddie's the youngest. She's a junior in high school, but they've never known a day that I have not went for a run. So at the beginning, I used to push them in strollers and running strollers, and then it got to the point where they'd run with me or ride a bike, and then they'd fight because they didn't want to do that, and they'd say, I ran last night, I don't want to run tonight, whatever. But and now it's neat when they come home because they run me into the ground. So, but back in when it was year 20, that year some friends of mine said you should do a little benefit run. So starting in year 20, I invited anybody that I'd run with over 20 years, and they came over for some beer and some bourbon, and we went for a run. And we raised money for scholarships for Moraine Park students. So it was anybody that graduated from Washington County High School could get one of the scholarships. Last year we raised almost $2,500 for scholarships. So this year, seeing it was year 25 and I'm president of United Way, we wanted to do something special. So I talked to Kristen Bradner a few months ago, and I said, I had this idea, and she shot it out to all the agencies and thought if they'd be interested. So we decided the 25 runs of gratitude. So each, starting yesterday when I ran with the Boys and Girls Club, through the end of the year, I'm running with a different nonprofit, and then we're trying to get sponsorships. And actually, I think there's only 7 spots open yet for sponsorships. It went very well. Part of the excitement took off. Judy has been promoting this event, and I had a phone call from Burbank, California the other night, and I let it go to voicemail because who's calling me from Burbank, California except spam. And then Judy called 3 other times, and I came in, and my daughter's like, Dad, the same number keeps calling you. Something's going on. And I picked it up, and it was Judy saying that the Ellen Show was trying to get a hold of me. So I talked to one of their screeners. Her name was Summer Green, and on the phone, and then they scheduled a Skype interview. I don't know if they wanted to see what I looked like to make sure I wasn't crazy or something. So we did a Skype interview on, I think that was Wednesday, and then the next step is they just go to, I think she shows that to her bosses to see if it's something that Ellen thought would be, something that they'd want to promote. So anyways, that got a lot of excitement, and all of a sudden I think that day we got a whole bunch of sponsors. So we're asking for $1,000. We're trying to, today's run was sponsored by Midwest Preferred, an insurance group. You guys heard Todd talk about, you guys apparently do a lot of good service for his father-in-law. So that's why I'm here today, and that's why Amy and I went for a run. So We went for a 2.5 mile run this morning. Definitely not, it was beautiful. It wasn't cold at all.
No,
I mean,
it's
I've had much colder, but we went for a nice run, and I learned about her 3 girls and what they do, and it was a good time. So thank you very much for everything you do, and God willing, and knock on a lot of wood, I'll make it to December 31st without some texting driver running into me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.